guys, it's Sandra here from Create in Spain, and today's video is aimed at those people who have cutting machines and those that use normal metal dies and don't have cutting machines, and those who want to make their own stamps. Now, before I go any further, what I am making is polymer stamps, okay? This is yet another different way of making them. I have got over 20 videos of polymer stamp making. So if you're interested in the process in general, please look at some of the other videos. I think number 16 is the one that gives you details of the polymer gel VX55, which is the one that you can get in most countries across the world. What I'm going to do today is show you how you can make a stamp without having to worry about timings. And it's designed really for those larger stamps that maybe you couldn't make if you were doing it the traditional way. So I have here a piece of a document folder, and it's been sprayed with temporary glue and put on my cutting mat. Now, if you're not using a cutting machine, if you're using a die cut machine, ignore this bit, okay? But this is going to tell you how to cut the craft foam. This is craft foam, which is about 2 millimeters thick. So my guidelines for cutting this sort of foam: you put adhesive on the back of the foam. So again, if you're using spray mount for your mat, you use spray mount for the back of this. And you must use a 60-degree blade. Now, blades for my holders and my machine are normally, it's either 22 or 23 millimeters long. Can't remember without looking. But if you go online, you can find extra long blades that are 24 millimeters long, and those are particularly good for cutting this sort of stuff. They just have a slightly longer cutting edge. If you don't have that, still use a 60-degree blade. But what I suggest you do is put stuff on your mat as normal and use a relatively low cutting pressure. I used something of about 60. And do your general design and just check that, it seems to be cutting the design as you wish. There's, no problem with the actual blade itself. When you've done that, you'll find that it hasn't cut through to the base, because what you want to do is to kiss cut it onto this plastic, okay? But you'll find it hasn't gone all the way through. Most probably, I'd be very surprised if it has gone through at that pressure, but you'll find that it's cut the basic design, it's not got through to the back of it. So what you're always tempted to do is just whack up the pressure, or increase the blade depth. But what you do need to do is to go up as far in the pressure states as you feel comfortable, and usually I stop somewhere around about the 100. If it's not cut through it at 100 with my blade on its lowest setting, then what I will do is I'll remove the holder. I will turn it up to a number 2 or a number 3, and then I will put it back in the holder and do the spacer test. Now, this is the important thing. If you just keep your blade holder in the machine and just turn it up, the blade is going to be nearer to the material, and you don't want that. You still want that gap so it can raise up and it can move. You need to put the spacer back under it and then reposition your blade holder on top of your spacer and then do your cut. Put it back underneath using exactly the same pressure and see if that gets it to the base. If it doesn't, then I will increase the pressure. So anyway, I've got my design here cut, and what I want to do is take away, first of all this excess foam. I want to leave this on here. Now, my actual design is the line. So I need to remove this line, keeping the rest of the detail on the plastic backing, there, but I want this and this to stay in place, okay? Because the bit I want to make the stamp of is the line. So you need a pair of tweezers and you need to pick up any little bits that are on the plastic, okay? So you need to do a clean up. Now I can't do that with the camera overhead, so I'm going to come back when I've done my little bit of clean up. Now I've done as much clean up as I can do, but I can see that in here, right on the base, there are some little bits that I can't quite get at. So, crafty cheat, I have another piece of the plastic and I sprayed that with spray mount again, put that over the top of my design, pick this up from the mat and I can turn it over, and that means when I peel this off, as you can see, I get lots of the little bits that were there. They are now gone, and if I need to, I can go in and I can pick off some more bits from this side. And the better the job you do of this, the better your stamp will come out. That if you've got a normal embossing machine, you use metal dies, maybe you'll get a very, very clean cut. Obviously with a cutting machine and blades, you are going to get more little bits. As you can see from there, that's the hard work done. So next we need our polymer gel, and just get that out. Now I've got mine in a transparent bottle, as you can see. I keep this in a drawer out of the light, so you know it doesn't get any light on it. And what I want to do is to start putting the gel over here. Ooh, this is fun. Now it will gradually settle, but it could probably do with a little help. So I will give it a little help in a moment. Now, put this away before you go any further. If it's in its black bottle, just put the top on it. And what you want to do is to just gently scrape over this. Oops, sorry, that's my oven timer. I'm making bread at the same time. Multitasking, as ever. Okay. Now, if you pick this up, it won't do it any harm. You can see whether you got any gaps at the base. And I don't think I have. I'm just going to go over this again. Like that. And I'm going to put this under my lamp for about 30 seconds, I think. Give it 30 seconds. Now I can touch that and I can feel that my gel has pretty much set. Yeah, seems to be set. And the next thing to do, and I know this seems really quite peculiar, but it's to cover it with some more gel. I'm just gonna do a little squiggle down there. So you've got a spatula and just smooth this around like so, going over your entire design. You want to actually put something flat over the top. What you can do is put another piece of plastic over that and just lay that down on the top, give it a good press, like so. Okay, so that's going to be nice and flat, and then put your lamp over it again for another 30 seconds. Now you might wonder, why would you want to do it this way if you can do it the other way, the traditional way, which is using a negative. Not everyone has the patience to learn the timings or wants to do anything that complicated. If you want to do quite a large background stamp, you may not be able to do it the traditional way because you might have to move your lamp over different areas of it in order to get it done. So I can now peel that off and we have a thin layer of gel on the back of here. Now if you want it a little thicker, it's not a problem. You can just put another layer on here, like so. Palette knife job again. This can go over there. I'm just trying to put a clean piece over because some of it is covered in little black bits. And again, something to weight it down. Now this time I'm just going to keep it there, it doesn't really matter. And I'm going to put it on for 60 seconds. That should have done the job. So I'm going to lift both of it up, and this time I'm going to peel off the top bit, like so. And you can see that you have your stamp encased in here. So what you now have to do is pick out the pieces. When you've taken the pieces out, you are left with your complete stamp. It has a nice 2mm relief on it, so that's pretty good. If you have discovered when you've still got your pieces in that you've got little gaps in places or little holes where you've had bubbles, you can take a little more of the gel on a pin and fill in the holes. Flash it under the lamp again, and then you can clean it off with soapy water and a nail brush, and you can brush off any excess gel. You then put it into a small tray with a tiny amount of water in it, just enough to cover the stamp, and put it under the lamp for another 3 minutes to really harden it up. If you don't have a lamp, again, you can do this in sunlight and the effect will be the same. So there we go, that's how to make a stamp with foam. Thanks for watching, take care now, bye bye.